I don't study at HULT, I didn't study at HULT. But I finished my thesis here because I just loved the environment and it just made me feel so comfortable that I was able to finish my degree. Yeah.
And can you kindly tell us a little bit about HULT? When has it been founded and what some interesting facts about the university?
So really HULT, their mission is to prepare the students for the market, and they really believe that, so it's a Swedish model, Swedish and American type of model of education. They really believe that the student is best prepared when the student has connections with staff, faculty, everything is there for them. So this, as you can see, I think the fact that the university's the architecture is such predisposes the student to feel comfortable. So this is basically it. Oh, I didn't show you something, by the way, downstairs. Currently, you know that EF is our sister company, and because of the facility, because we have bigger facilities here during the summer, they actually have language courses here. So I can show you downstairs, like there's the flags of the EF, basically to raise that as well. Yes, that's pretty much it. We really feel like there's no barrier between student and faculty. We're really one, and they really feel like we're there for them and we're elevating. Even if I tell you, like for visas as well, I am pretty much friends with the students that I help for visas because I pick up the phone. Also we interact via WhatsApp, so it's very interactive. There's no barriers of, we are professional, but there's no barriers of stuck-up attitude and mentality.
It's really a great help when you help students with visas and all.
Yes, because the visa process is one of the most stressful processes out there. So we really sometimes don't even know how easy we make it for them, because we also interact with the UKBI, the Home Office, and the student doesn't even need to know that. They don't really know the stressful side of it. So it is quite difficult. Yes. It is a difficult process when you're in the back. So yeah.
And in terms of international students, you help them with visas and all immigration issues.
Yes.
What are the most popular countries the students have gone?
So the Americas, so it's Latin America, America and Canada. We do have a lot of people from India, and pretty much it's all over the world. Africa as well, South Africa, North Africa, like from everywhere. Morocco, recently I had like 10 students from Morocco. We do have a lot of European nationals as well. A lot of people come with a double nationality, and what we try to do is to ease the situation with the visas is we take actually the European passport and we say we don't need a visa for the UK. So, but we need to dig deep into that, because I think a lot of people assume that they just have to go through the difficulty of the visa, and they don't actually mention that they have a European passport because they feel like they need to deserve the visa process. Oh. And I'm like, no, let me tell you. And it's actually, a lot of times it happens that we're right at the end of the visa cycle and they say, oh, I have an Italian passport.
Oh,
I'm like, darling, you don't need to, you didn't need to go through all this, it's fine. So yes, we really just are trying to help the students as much as possible.
And what are the most popular and key courses, subjects, and specializations at HULT?
So I do know that it's the MBA, because you can get an internship for credits. I think that's another thing as well that really immerses you into the professional side of things. So you don't need to know this, but with visas, you're not allowed to work during your studies, but you can do an internship if it's for credits. So that makes the student immerse even more within the marketplace, because they do an internship. HULT provides everything that they can feel as if they're in a real company, with their exercises that they do. The MBA, like I said, is one of the most top. Yeah, people usually come for the MBAs. Really, there's a lot of, maybe I want to say like 60% of the students come for BBAs because they want the foundation of HULT for business, and then sometimes they stay for an MBA, sometimes they go off and they find a job that will provide them first the experience, and then they come back for an MBA. So yeah, those are the most interesting.
And how many study hours per week students usually have?
So that depends on the arrangement and the courses that I know that some courses are mandatory and some courses are elective. So, and the fact that also they use the facilities all the time to stay here, I cannot really give you an accurate hour, but probably about up to 50 hours for sure they put in. a lot of times when I go up and down the stairs, it's actually funny. I see people. Recently there was a Russian group that were doing a presentation. They were preparing, and they were all marching up and down the corridor preparing for the presentation. So I can show you, they were like this. They were like, and then he said this, and then you're gonna say this. No. So it's almost like they're so, and I was laughing at them. Yes, I was laughing at them because they were really like going and speaking Russian, English, Russian, English, Russian, English. That was very cute. So they really do care about the things. They really do want to perform the best because they know that they're given the best. The tools are there for them. Since I've started, there's never been a problem with the communication between professor and student, which I really appreciate personally. Because I tell you, I come from an education that wasn't from HULT, and it's always been, the professor hasn't responded to my email that I sent 6 months ago. Here, I have never seen that happen. I think it's kind of impossible for it to happen because there is no gap between the student and the professor. We are very close to them, very close to them. So yes, it's very nice.
And what do you personally love about HULT and being a student? What you will appreciate?
I really would appreciate, and I feel it even though I've never been a student here, maybe I will in future. Oh, something interesting fact I need to tell you as well that I forgot. A lot of the staff that are here actually pursue an MBA or pursue an MIM. They really do it. So again, it tells you how there's no gap between the fact that you're a staff here and that you can still study here. So I really like the fact that you really feel like this is for them. Everything is here for them. Yes, they have to pay for the service, but they really get tenfold more for what they pay. I really like that there is no gap of hierarchy between the professor and the student. They can come up to the visa department anytime. They can come up to the dean anytime. I had never seen that before. Before I came to HULT, I was like, wow, the dean's there? Like the HULT is not in like a glass door or something?
He's not like somewhere.
He's not somewhere in the sky, you know, no, it's really, he's sitting there. And I really like that. Also, I really like that the staff that works here, we come from different backgrounds, and that really contributes a lot to the conversation that we might have. Let's say if you want to change the system, everyone's included, everyone is happy to do it. Another thing is that we mingle a lot with the students. So sometimes they do like free sandwiches. Like every week is something different. So free sandwiches from HULT or mocktails or like something else. So we really can talk to the students. We really interact with them. And it's for staff and students as well. So you kind of, as a staff, you also feel like a student.
We're jealous because
it's really it's a beautiful place to be. And also what I really appreciate as a worker is that everyone's invited to the conversation. It's not, oh, this is happening in admissions and we need to exclude everybody else because this is happening just for the team. We all contribute because this is one moving body. So we have to, it's not a machine, it's a body. So it's like, we have to maintain it that way, which I really appreciate. You know, the meetings, you know what's happening, you know, you can give advice. Nobody says, oh, you're from visa, you cannot give advice to admissions. It's not like that. We work very closely. Exactly, but this is how this trickles down to the way the students are here as well. They really feel like they can speak to the professors anytime. They can have extra hours curriculum. They can have extra hours if they don't understand something. So I really like that, and I hear that from a lot of my colleagues who actually are doing a degree here. They really feel like there's no barrier. And I think the other thing is, I can tell you because I see the difference because I told you that I didn't study in HULT. In my university, I mean, like normal generic universities, right? People don't really care about the assignments. They can be late with a month, 2 months. They don't really bring assignments in when they're supposed to. Here, we don't make them bring something. They know that this is for their future, and they know that if they do it, it's going to be for them. So I see a lot of people submitting, you know, even my colleague recently, he was like, but I need to go because I have to submit my thing. Nobody said actually, the deadline is a soft deadline. Nobody actually said you need to do it at 10 a.m. now. But they really want to excel at their job, so at the studies and their job. So they go and do it themselves. So it's almost like we pull them that way to really excel, and then we push them up. So yeah,
which is really nice.
It is. I really appreciate that from HULT. I really do. Even when I first met the dean, he explained to me the way that he interacts with the students, how he talks. Let's say a student has a problem at home or something, the dean is there always. It's almost like a father figure. You're not scared to talk to anyone. You're not scared to send an email to anyone. you can just knock on the door and go in. Sometimes there's no doors. You can see there are no doors. You can just walk in and the dean's there, faculty's there, admissions is there. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is. It
Beautiful
is,
relationship.
And can you tell us about scholarships?
Yes, so I know that you can get financial help, financial aid is called, and then scholarship as well from the university. There are several categories that I'm very familiar with the women's one, and the other one that I recently heard of, which was here before, is young people in business. So you have to submit an essay and you have to explain something about your country or what you want to do. Basically, you have to prove to HULT that you really deserve this, and then you're granted. And that's calculated by the finance team, which I don't really know how they do that. But people are granted help. Obviously, we understand that it's an MBA, it costs money, obviously, but we do assess the students by their wish to be here, and it's very open and it's very objective. So yeah, that's it. The other thing I know, and I cannot give you details about that because I haven't read about it, but I do know that if there is a student, for example, an admissions officer has 10 students that don't really pass the checks for exactly HULT, right? They come from a different background, they don't really know about business. The EA has the right to choose 10 of those to come anyway. So that's really beautiful. You can actually pull students from, even if they initially said, oh, you cannot really come to HULT, or the admissions say you're not really made for here. The EA has the right to say, no, I want these 10, they're coming, and I'm putting my hand in the fire for them that they're going to exceed.
So nice. It's very rare.
They give you the vote of confidence, which I personally had never heard of before. Generally, admissions is a very rigid process. You go by a guideline, you go by a deadline, and nothing falls out of the brackets.
Very difficult.
Yeah, here it's not like that. Here the student is assessed, and this is basically why the scholarship is also given, because they assess it by the student. You're just not a number. You're the student with the history, the student with the future, and this is how they assess them. London for the staff from all over the campuses around the world to meet and to greet and to have like a small get together.
And can you kindly tell me about international campuses of HULT?
Yes, so I've never been to any international campuses. Boston, London, Dubai as well, they are one of the biggest, and we interact with them with visa matters as well, mostly. I work in the visas department, so. But we have an internal system where it's very easy to communicate. Obviously, you need to know the time difference as well, but it's very easy to communicate. It's almost like a WhatsApp type of. So there are no barriers. My point is, you can email everyone, you can ping everyone. So when we have a meeting, we usually include people from the Boston office, people from Dubai, so they know what's happening here as well, so that they can coordinate the way they do things there as well.
And can you tell me please about international campus rotation within the program?
Yes, you can rotate. So let's say a student comes to London and then they want to go for a semester or a year to Boston. We accommodate that. That's absolutely fine. They can do that. The only thing they need to change is the visa. Obviously, where we come with that. Rotation students come. It's a great thing that HULT offers, is that you're not stuck in one place. You can go. You can see how things are taught there as well with the different professors. Every professor has their own style. So yeah, you have the option to do that. You have the option to go anywhere you like.
Is it available only for MBA students or for another master's student?
So it's for BBAs, which is bachelors mostly. For MBAs you can go, I think, for a semester, because the program is just 1 year. So yes, you can absolutely rotate. You can graduate there if you want. If you want to stay longer, you can do that.
So this international rotation is available for students in different programs,
Absolutely.
like bachelor and the master's
Absolutely.
program,
Yeah.
which is really nice.
It's really nice. I've never heard of that before either. But the idea behind it is that it's HULT. Whether it's in London, Boston, Dubai, anywhere else, it's HULT. So HULT is the family that's going to take care of you anywhere you go. So it's great, really great.
Do you have any famous alumni at HULT?
Not that I know of. For sure. I mean, all of them are famous. All of them go in business. I don't know anyone who's like well known. No. But they all succeed. So
I'm pretty sure with this kind of programs and the atmosphere at
yes,
campus,
they
there is no
really
chance not to succeed.
really go into the marketplace. They really go into business. They really go into exactly what they study. No one's deviated from that, from what I know, because we have the lists of where the students go afterwards. A lot of them are business people.
And while students are doing their master course or any in particular, what kind of internships they can have?
So they can have an internship for credits, so something that will contribute to their degree. So, which is not paid, like I told you, it shouldn't be paid, but this is for the visa purposes. They can choose anywhere they like. They can basically send a letter to the company and express a wish to be there or express an admiration that they've been following their work for a long time. So they have the option to do that. And it's very open. Businesses are usually very open to all students because they know what we're here for. I've never heard of anyone being refused.
Because and what companies are usually generally take students?
Goldman
out
Sachs.
for internship?
Goldman Sachs are the investor company. They're the one of the biggest. It's pretty much anywhere. Bank of America, anywhere. Yeah.
Okay, and if students have free time during their study process, do they have a chance to work if they will have a place at an international company or business company?
That depends if they're an international student, they're not allowed to. But yes, usually they can. I know that in the summer they're free to do. The European nationals are free to do pretty much whatever they can, which is great because then if they do have a placement somewhere over the summer, they can come back with more experience. They can share that experience. They can contribute more to the process of learning. It's great. But like I said, I think the key here is that no company has ever said no to a HULT student. Which is really important.
It's reputation of HULT.
Exactly. And I think the students really live up to that. The students really show what HULT is about. So they don't fail. And I think, again, it's connected to the fact that the education here is providing for that. It's providing for them to know the outside world, which is really, we're connected to that. So, yeah, it's really beautiful.
Thank you. And do you have annual meetings with your union?
So I've never sat on those, but I do know that the manager staff, the dean for sure is present. Yes, they are like friends. They do have that, but I've never sat one.
Thank you so much.
More than welcome.
I'm so impressed with the campus and all the interesting facts you told us.
Yes, it's beautiful. I'm still impressed. And this is my third month that I'm here. I just joined 3 months ago, and I'm still I'm still really, when I hear the new programs. The other thing that's really nice about it, which I think makes the body of HULT move more, is that I cannot tell you, I think it's in quarterly basis or maybe like 6-month basis, I think it is, that they actually come together, all staff, from the staff, comes together and they review the programs. And they add stuff or they get feedback from the students and they see what works and what doesn't work. So it's really that interaction as well that makes HULT exceed, which I think is very important. So it's not like a stagnant, this is for the next 3 years, this is what I'm gonna get and that's it, there's no discussion. No, it changes and it improves, and that's really something that we work on. We have a lot of meetings based on that. On the students' feedback as well. We take it directly from them and we work with that. So this is basically how a university, in my opinion, should be run.
And how many assignments and exams students usually have per year at bachelor's programs and at master's programs?
That I don't really know because it depends on the professor, it depends on the course they took. They do have an end of year assessment that they need to do. It's quite a big one usually. They do have a lot of assessments during the duration of the year. They do a lot of business exercises, business activities. So it's ongoing. So they're never really without something to think about. So, yeah. Oops, sorry, excuse me.
No,
That's my colleague.
it's really nice. So thank you very much. I feel so impressed and I need to take some time.
Of course, you're
Think
more than
about
welcome.
everything I saw
Grab
here.
a coffee, tea, absolutely, you're more than welcome.
Thank you
For
so
sure.
much.
My mom's Bulgarian. Sorry, my mom's Bulgarian. So, and I went to Russian school for a year, but that was I was made to. I had to. So I understand and I read Russian because I read all the classics like Chekhov and
Not all Russians read it.
Not all right, yeah, but I had to because I got like a very Soviet education for that one.
In my mind, it's not just because I'm Russian, but I truly believe that the Soviet system of education is really nice.
Yeah.
It's not so creative, it's not so free in terms of thinking, but discipline on the base of real knowledge, literature, biology, chemistry, everything.
Exactly.
So
my dad's actually Cuban, so like Cuba got me. So I really I was born into that system. I know it inside out. Yeah, for sure. So I think it's very, very nice. It gives you a lot of. I think it really trains you for life with the discipline.
Yurmala is the name of the city, and Kukushka is the name of the song by Tsoi. You can just YouTube it, and he has created the song in Yurmala. So just to feel the atmosphere.
Perfect. So nice, very thoughtful. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Well, more than welcome anytime.